You are no doubt familiar with at least some of Bakersfield's sports legends, past and present. Frank Gifford, George Culver, Colby Lewis, to name just a few.
But here's one you may not be familiar with, and today is the 100-year anniversary of his big day. Here with the story of Herb Buckshot May is 17's Robert Price.
A century ago, May 9th, 1924, a lean, sinewy figure strode to the mound at Forbes Field, his distinctive bow-legged gait as unfamiliar to the fans of the Pittsburgh Pirates as his angular jaw and sunburned farm boy ears. 6'1" William Herbert May, a native of Maricopa, was finally getting his chance, his first opportunity to pitch in the major leagues, exactly 100 years ago, against the Boston Braves. Now, the Braves didn't offer much punch. They would go on to lose 100 games that season and finish dead last in the National League. But when it came to colorful monikers, the Braves were a regular murderer's row. Their nominees for the league's all-nickname team included players who called themselves Dutch, Cotton, Red, Rube, and Stuffy. But none had anything on the lanky right-hander from Bakersfield. His distinctive alias, Buckshot. Why Buckshot? Because, as the story goes, his screwball was hard and nasty, but he was as liable to plunk the hitter on the backside as he was to find the strike zone. In fact, his nickname was originally Scattershot, because just like a sawed-off 12-gauge, a blast from his right arm could end up anywhere within a wide swath of the batter's box. Teammates found the nickname Scattershot a bit of a mouthful, though, so they simply called him Buckshot. Buckshot was just 22 when the Pittsburgh Pirates signed him to a minor league contract and shipped him off to their Western League affiliate in Omaha, Nebraska. By his second season, 1923, Buckshot was a known commodity, a star on the rise. As the staff ace of the Omaha Buffaloes that season, he won 18 games and lost 15 over just 5 months. That's 33 decisions in 23 weeks, practically unheard of in today's game. Then in August, the parent club called him up to the bigs, and at age 24, Buckshot's major league career had arrived. Buckshot had been a starting pitcher throughout his career, but Pittsburgh's Hall of Fame manager, Bill McKechnie, saw him as a late-inning reliever, and the last one out of the bullpen at that. It was more than a month into the 1924 season before Buckshot got into his first game. Somehow the hapless Braves had scored 10 runs on the Pirates that Friday afternoon, and they were leading by 3 when the game entered the top of the 9th. By that point, the contest was largely devoid of drama, the perfect occasion for an untested major league rookie with a wild streak to come in for some 9th-inning mop-up work. 2 Braves batsmen stroked singles off Buckshot, but he caught one of them leaning too far from first base and picked him off. Then, after inducing the next batter to hit a harmless pop fly, Buckshot ended the inning with a flourish, striking out the final batter. It was the last pitch he ever threw in the major leagues. Why is a mystery. Did he injure himself? Did he have a falling out with the manager? Were the Pirates simply so deep with pitching they didn't need him? It's true that the Pirates had a great collection of arms, one that would lead them to a World Series title the following year, but none of the above. Buckshot claimed team owner Barney Dreyfuss had promised him a raise from his salary of $400 a month, and when Dreyfuss reneged, the two argued, and Dreyfuss cut him loose. Buckshot is one of 62 pitchers in Major League history to have pitched 1 inning or less in their entire big league careers. Oh, but Buckshot wasn't done after that day in Pittsburgh. He pitched 10 more seasons, just not in the bigs. He pitched professionally for a total of 14 years, mostly in the Pacific Coast League for the Seattle Indians, Oakland Oaks, and San Francisco Seals. But the beginning of the end came in 1935 when Buckshot, who was an off-season oil field drilling supervisor, was injured on the job. The toes of his left foot were crushed in the drilling rig machinery, requiring the amputation of all 5 toes. That spring, despite the injury, he signed with the Class D Bakersfield Bees of the California State League. He'll be back as soon as his foot heals, said the Bees manager, but it took a year for Buckshot to function. Toeless Herb May was not the same player Buckshot had been. He eventually moved to South America, where he worked as a drilling rig supervisor for 17 years and was tempted to stay. Eventually, however, he returned to Bakersfield, worked a few more years in the oil industry, then retired to a life of leisure and to many games of lowball poker. And he was pretty good at it, according to no-hit pitcher George Culver, who was also a regular. William Herbert Buckshot May died in Bakersfield on March 15th, 1984, at the age of 84. His career minor league pitching record was 149 wins and 110 losses, with 4 20-win seasons and a pristine major league earned run average of 0.00. He was inducted into the Bob Elias Kern County Hall of Fame on February 9th, 1984, a month before his death. At his induction, he was cited as having been the first local athlete to play a major league professional sport, brief as it was in Buckshot's case. 1 shot, 1 opportunity, 1 inning. But he was a Kern County sports pioneer because of it, and it happened exactly 100 years ago. Robert Price, 17 News.